Rodeo Time. Gotta get her on down the road.
How does my hair look, Shelly? Okay. It looks okay.
A-okay.
One thing I've noticed about like listening to me, you can always, when I'm laughing, you can hear me go like suck back in. I'm like, damn.
I'm not concerned about that. How does my hair look, Donnie?
Good.
Looks like a lion's mane.
Well, this is
Looks like hair extensions.
Rodeo Time with Dale Brisby. This will be Donnie's last podcast because he's on to the next one after this. We've got a very special guest today, and that is Danny Kateri. Yes, there is relation to Randy. Second question, he is the initials DQ, as in the popular chain. DQ.
We went there last night.
That's what I like about New Mexico. Do they sing it like that there?
No.
That's what they
Do we
say
even
in
have
Texas.
Dairy Queens anymore?
Yeah, they're all closed.
We have Blake's Lauterburger.
What a
Blake's.
sad piece of information.
Yeah, but
love
once you go to
DQ.
Blake's, there's no
Yeah.
comparison.
So the real DQ in New Mexico is Danny Kateri.
There
yeah,
you go.
that's the real one. Please stand up.
What do you do in New Mexico?
As little as possible.
Yep.
No, we own a tavern and a restaurant.
Yep.
Raise a few bucking bulls. Just living the good life.
And the tavern's called
Cold Beer, New Mexico.
Cold Beer, New Mexico. So is it a town? It's turned
Not
into one.
officially, but we call it a town.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Yeah, there you go.
I started Winnebago.
Yeah.
So I can talk to a guy about getting a population sign, like all of it,
We could do that, but the population changes like dramatically.
depending on the weekend.
2 to 7 to maybe 300.
Yeah.
How long have you had cold beer?
It is 4 years this month.
Yep.
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
I do. It's fun. It's you got to make it fun or it'd be a job, and it's not a job.
What'd you do before? Like, what made you go with owning a bar?
We like way before worked up in Los Alamos, had a business up there, made good money, and just walked away from a lot of money to go raise bucking bulls.
I want to open a bar one day. Rodeo Blues.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I've got my own little makeshift one at the house.
Hey,
but
he'll sell you one.
Yeah, there you go. We could change the name.
yeah, but I want somebody to run it.
Shelly.
I just want to
Shelly might run it.
I just want to hang out. I want to show up like on Rodeo Time Tuesday, occasionally a weekend if there's not a big added money bull
That's
riding.
kind of my goal right now at Cold Beer. Once
Okay.
we get it running really well, it's just gonna be a part-time job for me.
So, Donnie has ran a bar most of his life.
I don't know if I ran it. Yeah, my dad owned one all my life.
What do you think about splitting time between running Rodeo Blues in Winnebago or Fort Worth and Cold Beer in Cold Beer, New Mexico?
You want me to run both of them?
Yeah. Danny and I just kind of want to hang out.
Yeah.
You send us checks. You send us the money.
You'll probably be sending me checks to keep it going. Is how it's gonna work out.
That's how that works, huh?
Yeah. You gotta spend money to make money.
Well, then when do we make money?
It'll be a while.
20 years.
Yeah. When you sell it, you make a lot of money.
So I've been to Cold Beer. I love that bar. That's pretty much the exact scenario that I want Rodeo Blues to look like. So, rodeo pictures, pool tables, also food. But you say that there's not a large most of your income comes from alcohol sales.
No, not really. I mean, the income does, but we do probably 65-70% food there over alcohol.
Gotcha. The margin's just not as good, though.
Yep, the margin's
Gotcha.
not as good.
That's kind of I don't know what percentage I would want, but I would definitely want food because
Oh.
I don't drink. So if I'm gonna go into my own bar, I want to be able to at least eat.
You got to have food.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you've got to have food with the bar.
Pickled quail eggs.
Y'all have pickled quail eggs?
We could get them.
We can get them. Whatever
you guys have pickled quail eggs at yours?
At my dad's bar,
Yeah.
no. But there's like, there's a fast pitch softball league, a men's,
Yeah.
and where I'm from, and the concession stand there had pickled quail eggs. They're spicy.
Yeah.
The ones
I've
I
never
ate.
actually had them, but I know that.
I had quail eggs at a sushi place once. They were all right.
These might have actually been fried quail eggs. Like deep
Well,
fried.
Anything fried's good, right?
Dang. Other than that, though, you run bucking bulls?
We do.
How long you been raising bulls?
Oh, gosh. Probably 14 years, 15 years.
When Randy started riding bulls?
Pretty much.
About that time?
We got a few practice bulls in, and guy said, why don't you raise a few good ones since you're feeding all these bulls? So we did. We bought a few good ones.
We used to have sale barn days too.
Really?
And
A lot.
he got on one.
Yeah.
You got on
got
one
on
one
one
time?
One of mine, so he tested them out before.
How old were you?
I was probably 13 or 14.
Were you nervous to get on
No,
him or
I
something?
I wasn't, but he just said, "Let me get
Well,
on him
he-
first to see what he does." And
He was kind of ornery, and, he was just starting out, and I didn't want him to get thumped, so I thought I'd get on him. So
I just thought it was cool. I was watching my dad get on.
Was that the last bull you've been on?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever heard a watermelon fall off a 2-story building?
I've not.
That's what it sounded like when I fell
Yeah.
off.
Do we have that on video somewhere?
We used to have a whole bunch of stuff, but they all got thrown away from one of the moves.
What's probably the most fun story you have of Randy riding bulls?
There's a bunch of fun stories in there, but one of the best ones that I can remember is he drew Breakdown, first rider to ever get on Breakdown, one of our good bulls in Fort Worth, and Facebook blew up. I mean, as there's people up there saying, we're going to test your genetics on the bull side or the other side right here.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a good. So the Breakdown's the bull that we talked about in the JB Mooney podcast where Randy suggested JB get on him. Was that it? What it at the finals?
Yeah, I was at the
13?
finals. 13 or I think it's 13. Well, look at
And
your
ha-
buckle. What does it say? 13. Yeah.
13.
How many was he?
90 3/4, I think.
So how many were you on him?
Goose egg.
Actually, Randy was 7.9 on him. I mean,
That's what they all say.
I know it was like
It was close. I thought
Yep.
they should have just gave it to me.
Yeah.
I got a really cool picture. Randy kind of hung up to him a little bit, and Swish was fighting, and they're both. Swish's eyes are like huge, looking at Randy, and Randy's like stretched out, and they're both got their hands up like they're getting high fives.
Was it at Extreme Bulls?
No, it was just the NBBA
Yep.
at Will Rogers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang, did you know Swish at the time?
Very little.
Yeah, I didn't even really know him that well either.
Yeah.
And him and Webb were fighting it.
Dang.
It was kind of cool.
So that you were how old then?
I must have been like, I don't know, how old was I in 2013? 20, 22, 23 maybe.
I got on Medicine Woman. It's world champion saddle bronc course. I got on her in the bareback riding
Yeah.
around, but that was in like 2010. Whenever I thought I wanted to be also a bareback rider, but I didn't last 7.9 seconds on Medicine Woman. She came out and took that right just like she does in the bronc riding. And anyway, yeah. So had you gotten on Breakdown before?
That was the first time.
Did you get on that Keller of Bulls at your dad's house in the practice pen?
No. I never really got on anything.
Got on some good ones.
Got on some good ones, but nothing. Breakdown was just really electric, He
Nothing quite like 5'11".
no, not quite. But what was cool about Breakdown is he was born on our place, and I think we bucked him one time, and he just stood out to me. And Dad was actually gonna get rid of him, and me and Shelly, my stepmom, had a talk, and we're like, well, I think we should give him a couple more shots. And I remember she called me one day, and she just, what should we name him? And I think that's how it went.
Yep.
And I just said, let's name him Breakdown.
Because you broke down and kept him.
Yeah,
Yep.
broke down, kept him, and
He was special.
he was. That's. I think stock contractors that's a bull that rarely comes around the way he was.
Yeah.
And they started taking him in a bunch of fraternities, and I mean he just lit him up all year. He won just about every major event that the ABBI had. He won the Spring Fling. He won Thackerville. I think they marked him 9. What was he in? Or,
Thackerville, they marked him 23,
Yeah.
23 and a half across the board.
Dang.
he really, and he got it on. And
Golly.
Yeah,
he was
he's
just a
good.
special bull. It's cool to see him grow up on the place and where he went.
So, did Baxter have any lineage tracing back to Ray
No.
County?
No. Baxter's Playboy, Houdini, something else on top. I can't remember. But Baxter's actually bred pretty well.
And he's got some pretty good calves, too.
He's got a real good calf right now out of a Wiley daughter. We hauled Wiley around for a while, too.
Well, that's a funny story too, because
Yeah.
Billy Jane sent 2 bulls to just try out at the camp, and Dad says, "We'll pick you one out for a practice." And Wiley just jumped and kicked really good, and I was like, that would be the perfect bull to have. And then one day Briscoe came out and got on him, and I don't know where it came from, but Wiley bucked like a real bucking bull and
Dang.
dumped Travis quick, and then ever since then he just
And
fired.
you had been getting on him as a practice bull?
I only got on him one time, and he just jumped and kicked really hard with me.
Yeah.
And he hit hard, and he's just really good practice. And then I hadn't got on him for a while. I don't know if I was just gone.
You're gone.
And then Travis came and got on him one day and just dumped him. Was Travis the one that got on him first?
Yeah. We fishbowled him a little bit,
Yeah.
and then they called me to a little local rodeo there in Cimarron. They were short bulls, had too many bull riders, and Contractor called me and goes, "Hey, what can you come up with?" And all I
How
had
often does that happen?
was I know, but all I had was
Cimarron.
We got too many bull riders.
I know, and all I had was like good bulls. I didn't really have any practice bulls because he was gone. So I loaded on a chicken on a chain calf and Wiley,
Oh man.
and we went up there and wow, it was
Yeah.
like
Well, none of those kids that enter
No.
need to be getting on.
I felt kind of bad.
Yeah. Dang, that's funny. Yeah, that never happens either. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we got too many bull riders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How many bulls would Randy get on in a practice session?
gosh, sometimes 4 or 5, and then sometimes 1. It just kind of depended.
Yeah. How many times a week?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yep, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and head out on the weekends.
Yeah.
Probably about three a day, 6 a week. Practice
Yeah,
bulls.
something like that. It just depending on what was in the pen, what
Yep.
Tanner had.
What was in the pen and maybe how you felt? Because if you were riding really good,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't want to get on 9 head in
No.
a day.
No.
Leave on a positive note.
Yeah,
But-
get on you 1 or 2.
And once I started progressing, Tanner Trujillo, he raised bucking bulls and strictly plumber bulls and they were mean. Every one of them were mean,
Yeah.
like kind of like shrub grubber
Yeah.
in
Dang.
the chute, and we didn't have any bullfighters out there.
Nope.
It's just me, Dad, Shelly, Tanner, and Lenny most of the time.
It's just so intriguing to me talking about the practice pen because I've never had to go to one.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
like I'm just, you know what I mean? I just don't need
Just
practice.
natural.
So I like to ask that question, you know.
Yeah, well, some guys need to practice.
Yeah.
One of the worst hookings I took was in the practice pen with him.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened?
Just got on a bull and kind of threw him over the front and stepped on his, broke your collarbone, but kind of heard a squeal from Randy. So, and this bull was kind
Oh,
of
I'm
hot.
glad we don't have that video.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
So
Like, it was so embarrassing. No, it was worse than that.
it was pretty bad. And,
We've all made those noises.
and this bull was hot, so I come flying off the back of the chute. I think I pulled your rope and
Well, Carl freaking
Tried,
had
yeah.
a hot shot.
yeah, he
just-
hot shotted this bull.
Like, I nodded, and Carl and he kind of just kicked forward, and then just right out of there just brought me over the front of him and just stepped
Yeah.
all over
Dang
me.
it, Carl.
So
Yeah, Carl don't care.
Yeah.
Well, Bull, we're going to see if you're going to be a bull rider.
You always got to have those moments or everyone has those moments when they make a random noise during an
Yeah.
injury that
Yeah.
they wish they hadn't.
that one
Wes
kind
had one the other day.
Yeah.
Remember when he got
Yeah.
stepped on?
Yeah.
That bull stepped on. His, unfortunately, was on camera. We're going to cut to it, and we're back.
Yeah.
If for those of you watching it.
That's funny.
No, it's really good that there's not videos of all of our practices
God.
back
yeah,
in the
no
day.
kidding.
Sometimes they're just, that's one thing, like, when the interns show up, like, it's a good thing,
Yeah.
and it's sometimes not a good thing. It's a good thing that, they came here and they're going to get to learn how to do this sport where they otherwise may not have been. But on the other hand, every moment is documented on the internet.
That's what I
I
see. Like,
But I think, man, the cool thing about it is you see, like, a lot of people, like, in the comments I've read, like, they see the progression. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, you guys are getting the hang of it. Unless they give Wes a hard time most of the time. But
Well, Donnie stopped getting on
was
bulls.
built for a bull rider. He just said, no, I want to get on horses.
Yeah, Donnie stopped getting on them. How do you feel about practice being filmed?
I mean, if you want to come here and learn how to ride,
Yeah.
it's something you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
Get used to the camera.
I've had a few interns just be like, I don't really want this filmed. You do know what we do
Yeah.
here, don't you? Like, you wouldn't even know I existed had we not filmed everything. You came here, you're going to be on camera. But, I mean, it's not that much different than just, like, entering a rodeo.
Mm-mm.
You know, because, I mean, when you go to a rodeo, you ain't hiding nothing.
No.
They get to see every moment. They're watching you get ready. They're watching you get on. They're watching you in the arena. They're watching you after. They're watching you on the stretcher get carried out. All of it.
Yeah.
Because I've had moments in the arena that I wasn't necessarily excited about.
Yeah.
When I dislocated my shoulder, I was yelling for because I know when you dislocate a shoulder, the longer you wait,
Harder it is.
the harder
to
it
get
is to get the shoulder back in.
Yeah.
So like I feel it go out, and I'm like, oh no, and I start looking, and I'm like, you, yelling
push
from the
his
middle of
hand.
the arena. I was like, get over here, as if he was the one that dislocated it. He entered me and dislocated my shoulder. But I don't know. What's your most embarrassing moment in the arena?
I don't know about. Oh, I was young. I was 13, but it was at the Little Britches Finals in Pueblo, and it was in the short round, and I just had to ride him to win the whole thing, and I drew this miniature bull, like a miniature Bramer. Like he had a huge hump and everything, but tiny. Like my feet were almost
like a
dragging the
zebra.
ground. And he just ran out there and spun really fast to the left, and I knew that. I seen him all week. I seen him twice throughout the week, and I was like, I'm gonna get that bull. I just know it. And sure enough, I got him in the short round, and I wasn't very good at riding bulls that spun when I was still 13. I just would get on jump kickers, and I just remember Dad just saying, "You just put your hand out in front of you, and just keep it there." And I nodded, and he went out there, and I flew off right at the way out of the gate, but I hung up to him for like 3 minutes, and it was pretty embarrassing. Just this little.
Just being hung up to a little
He looked
bull.
like a big dog, and he was just dragging me around the arena.
He was.
And my grandpa's a nuclear physicist, you know that, and he never really liked to watch me, but he videoed and you could hear him. He's like, "Get him off of there! Get him off of there!" Has no knowledge to rodeo at all.
He doesn't know what
He's so mad at the people that. But it was that was pretty embarrassing. And
Did you ever see the Sports Illustrated pictures of that bareback rider
at
that
the high school
hung up
finals, yeah, I was
and
there.
his pants came down?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing ever. He was all over the big screen, and he covered up back here, and then he got stepped on again, and then he's trying to cover up in the front and the back.
Oh, he didn't have no underwear.
No
on.
underwear, and he
Oh,
got
poor-
shredded.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
He-
They had it on
and-
the big screen finally. They took it off the big screen, but thankfully you didn't have
was kinda
Snapchat
funny.
back then.
No kidding.
There's gonna be a bunch of people looking up that video
Yeah.
though now.
I don't know if you can find it.
Probably not.
That happened to JB.
Yeah.
Where was he talking about? Where
Yeah, he got
but
stepped
it,
on.
but it ripped his pants and
Yeah.
it was just on his butt.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
He showed us that.
What about you, Danny? Any embarrassing moments in the arena,
Oh,
or
there's
some you can remember where you saw?
Probably lots, but that was a long time ago.
We got some funny bareback riding pictures of
Oh,
him.
yeah.
I can have him take a picture and send it to you.
Everybody used to ride bareback horses.
Oh yeah, because
Like growing up, I thought my
That's what
old
Mom and
man.
Dad said.
I thought my old man was a saddle bronc rider. Growing up, that's what I pictured him as. And then as I got older and started looking through pictures, like he had like multiple, I don't know, 3 or 4 times as many bareback riding pictures. But he said back then there'd be
Oh, yeah.
80 bareback riders entered
Easy.
somewhere.
Well, like my mom and dad is like, you're not getting on bulls. We'll stick your hand in this rigging and let you go drag around an arena, but you're not going to let you get on a bull.
Well, of course,
so
the rigging was a little different.
it
Yeah, what
was.
did-
I started with
Uncle
a
Red-
noodle.
Leather.
I started with a noodle handle.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a leather
hang on.
loop that you grab a hold of,
Yep.
and you ride more sitting up.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
should
do.
see
You
the
can't lay
pictures.
back.
They're funny.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but these days, of course the horses got stronger.
Oh yeah.
The handles turned into rawhide, and they went from flat on their back to a little bit more up off their
45.
back
Yeah.
and a 45-degree angle, so you can lay back. And so it's a lot rougher on your arm, and it's just a rougher event now than it used to be.
Yeah,
This
your
is
arm's
not
3
like
inches
fun.
longer on the other side. You know.
So now there'll be 11 bareback riders entered at a 6,000 added rodeo,
Yep.
which is if some guys can ride a bareback horse,
Mhm.
like you can clean house.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bull riding you can clean house because most guys buck off.
Yeah.
So if you can just stay on
Stay
bulls,
on.
you can clean house. But
Well,
in
that
the
was my
bareback
problem.
riding,
I just couldn't stay on. if they had a 6-second whistle, I'd probably be really good.
yeah. So if you're out there listening to this and you're wondering what event to get into, here's my opinion. Bareback riding is the easiest to learn and the most opportunity, but it's the roughest on your body. Saddle bronc riding is the smoothest on your body, but it's the hardest to learn.
And bull riding, you get the most girls.
Bull riding is the second easiest to learn. The second well, I mean, I don't want to. It's the hardest to stay on. So, but if you can, that's where you can win the most money.
It's so hard to stay on bulls, man. It's so easy to come off of them.
Like just any wrong movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the 3 events? Why are you so against horse riding?
They just scare me. Horses, I just don't get along with horses. I mean, that's what I've been saying. Maybe I can just get over that. I probably need to get over that, but I don't ever want to ride a bucking horse.
Yeah.
Like, I just have no desire. I guess going to high school rodeos, just seeing all those wrecks from those kids just learning, like, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting my foot caught in that and drug around.
Yeah. Did you see a lot of guys hang up?
Oh,
to
man, you know Ryan Montroy, that guy.
Yeah.
But once he figured out, he looked really good on a horse. But
Yep.
I mean, I seen guys just hang up in the bareback ride and get drug around, and that did not look fun.
Yeah.
And I was half decent in high school at bull riding, then I just I might as well just do this,
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah, at our rodeo camps, riding on faith camps, when we get 3 or 4 bareback riders in there, it's just pins and needles for a while. 'Cause they're learning. We're at
Mhm.
a place, but we got some great pickup men that go to that. So
Yeah. It's unnerving to
It is.
watch a young guy try a horse riding event in the beginning.
Yep.
And you got to have the right horse. It's the worst possible scenario when you have beginners learning to ride bears or broncs and a stock contractor shows up with a
bunch of
trailer
colts.
load of horses that are rank
Oh, yeah.
because he needs to get them bucked.
all colts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or just colts.
That's
like,
how the bull riding's getting too. Like all those guys racing
Yeah.
bulls. I mean, I don't know.
you got to get the rank bulls bucked,
Yeah.
but you
You
also
do.
don't want to kill
You
off
don't
a
want to
bull
kill
rider.
everyone off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I really appreciate about Cody Custer and his philosophy is just
Yep.
like, he's like, get on this bull 300 times,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
the same thing.
and then get on.
That's what we're doing at the house right now. We got a kid there, Tyler Kipps. You'll see his name here pretty soon. He's good,
Yep.
and he brought 5 good practice bulls. Just do a little bit of everything, and we just been bucking them every night. So
How many bulls have you had go to the PBR World Finals?
oh gosh, Breakdown, Wiley. These other bulls weren't mine, but I hauled them for a guy and trained them. Recovery
That
Time
counts
was one
too.
of them. Yellow Hair.
Yep.
Awesome Blossom. 6 or 7.
What sort of how much can you contribute to a bull's success? That like as far as like percentage of breakdown, like what do you feel like the training that you did on him, turn back pins, whatever method you have, like let's say his best out was 100%. What percentage of that was like that's how he was going to be, and what percentage of it did you have control over? Do you feel like?
On Breakdown, his He was 100%. I didn't have a clue what I was doing when we
Really?
raised him.
Yeah.
That bull was special. Like Randy said, I almost cut him. He turned back in the gate the first time, and then the second time we bucked him, I popped latch, and I was literally looking at him from below. It's kind of a funny story. We sent off some videos because I had no intention on hauling bulls. I wanted to breed them, train them, sell them. I didn't want to, travel again, and sent a bunch of videos off to some big guys, and I'll never forget Gilbert Carrillo. he texted me back, goes, man, I want that bull, but I don't have the money. I was asking 10 grand as a 2-year-old. I said, take him.
That doesn't seem like an astronomical amount of money.
No, it's not. And I got these comments back, oh, that bull's, he stopped when you popped the dummy off. He's not going to ever be nothing. Anyway, so kind of made me mad. So I told Shelly, I said, let's enter him. Let's go.
Yeah, you'll haul him.
Yeah,
If nobody
so
else will.
We pull up Stephenville Spring Fling. Nobody knows who we are. We just pull up there. Shelly buys them for $10 in the Calcutta, and nobody bid against this breakdown bull. And we enter them. I sit there and kind of had heat stroke and watched every bull buck. And we ended up winning.
Dang.
Breakdown was sick. Already had a vet on site to stick an IV on him in him because he was having trouble eating and drinking. Different climate, and so Julie Carrillo actually got us hooked up with Lisa Willis, and we got him taken care of. Right when it was done, he was in a squeeze chute, and she was sticking a needle in him, and they kept calling me to go take a picture, for the event, and I was more worried about my bull,
Right,
Finally,
right.
I go over there, and we all line up in front of the chutes and take our picture, and I start heading.
All of a sudden, 10,000 wasn't that expensive.
Well, I look up, the guy's walking up with the big checks, that they use, and I seen 26,000 something on the check.
Dang.
I'm like, man, that's pretty good. And then Shelly ended up winning like $5,000 in the Calcutta on him.
Wow.
So it was a good weekend, but it kind of got me hooked on hauling.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's kind of like catching a huge fish your first
Yeah, it
outing.
was. It's
shooting
just-
a big buck. You
yeah,
just
it was.
hooked.
But yeah, I mean, wouldn't trade it for the world. Met a lot of good people on the road. So
made you want to send that picture of that check to all them stock contractors.
well, after that, it was like, oh, what do you want to sell him for? I was like, I'm not going to sell him now.
Yeah.
We're going to
Put
keep
10
hauling
on
him.
top of that 26, maybe.
probably
That'll
more
be a
than
good
that.
starting conversation.
We actually got offered a lot of money for that bull.
Yeah,
so
sure. That's tough too, having to make those decisions. Like
it is.
getting offered.
Hey, I mean, a lot of things can happen, but
Right.
I wasn't doing it for the money. I did it because I liked it.
That's a good. Yeah.
I mean, it takes money to raise these bulls and feed them and take care of them, but man, there's a lot better ways to make money if you're looking to make money.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so-
Man, I get so many messages from people wanting to know how to all aspects of the industry. They want to know how to get started, maybe ranching, riding bulls. But then the one that is the easiest for me to answer is just like people that want to get started raising bulls. And I'm trying not to be pessimistic, but like they may just have a normal 9-to-5,
Yep.
Wife and kid, and they want to start, or they just got out of college, don't have a job, have no money, and they want to start raising bulls or something like that, or start a ranch. And I'm just like,
Hold up.
yeah, I don't want to come across as just this negative Nancy, but at the same time, you need to be woken up to the reality that like it's just a special situation.
It's a lifestyle.
It is.
Like,
You got to devote your life to it.
You do. We run
And-
15 headed cows, and that's how many bulls I've gotten to go to the big time. I mean, I don't run more than 15 headed cows.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're down to 6 or 7, and we got some good ones on the ground.
Yeah.
It just,
You also started out with, and still do, have obviously like really good genetics.
we do. I studied it, and there was a guy that kind of helped me. His name is Gene Baker. I'm sure people know about him, but he's a good friend of mine, and he kind of took me under his wing and helped me out a bunch,
Like you're not. I guess what I'm thinking of is just like people that want those results, but they start with like a mediocre herd. And I'm not saying you can't get lucky. Like you were
No.
saying, what bull was it that came out of Selborne?
Farmer John.
Farmer
Yep.
John.
Yep.
Like occasionally you get those.
You
Shrub
do.
grubber might turn into something,
he
but
might.
he might not. And we've spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah.
I understand that risk, but that's why there's only one of him. But we've got a bruiser daughter, and we've got JB went and got a bull crossfade, and put, and he was already the bruiser cow was bred back, so she just had a calf, turned out to be a heifer. That's the other thing, like we got
What do you do
14
with
cows, half of them are heifers.
Yeah.
They all calved out, So
They only
now
got one bull this year.
Yeah, I've only got one bull so far.
1 out of 6.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think I got 8 out there, but
Those
but
are like the things that people don't understand.
they don't. It's just money, and those heifers are worth basically nothing.
Right.
But now they're actually they're going to buck the heifers with the bulls as 2-year-olds, so they'll be worth a little bit money.
That's what
A little
JB
bit
was
more,
saying.
so that's going to help. I think there's a difference there, though.
For sure.
But what you were saying, people that want to start out, go buy what's working.
Mm-hmm.
Go start with what's working, because right now, the way breakdown was in 13, now he probably wouldn't even get a check. That's how far the
Dang.
bulls. That's how far
No
they've
kidding.
evolved. Oh yeah, it's just we were good back then, but today he's just an average bull.
Just in 7 years.
Yep.
You really got to have something special to
Yeah.
play.
So
Yeah.
I'm always looking for the wow factor. That's why I put bodacious in these calves now.
Uh-huh.
So we've got some bodacious grandsons on the ground that are doing good, and they're out of my good cows. So we'll see.
It's such a crazy game because even Bodacious, for most of his part of his deal, he didn't buck.
No.
And then that guy hung up to him
Yeah.
Yep.
at somewhere, and then he started bucking. His next
Yeah.
trip, he got it on. It's such a fickle game.
It is, and I like bodacious because he's putting some size in these calves.
Mhm.
I mean, they're going to be big,
Right.
stout guys, and with the good cow on their side, you could get something there.
Yeah. I wish the same thing. There's a lot of people pushing in the bucking horse industry,
Same
for
thing.
futurities and stuff like that. Like, I think that I wish that would, but the horse market's completely different, In a normal year, you could still get something for a bull that doesn't buck. You could still send it and get some money, but not necessarily in May of 2020, but regardless.
Right.
So, I wonder how this May of 2020 and all this jazz will affect the bull industry.
I think as far as the bull industry, the cattle industry, it's going to affect.
Mhm.
You've seen that. But, if you got a good bull, somebody's going to buy him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the show must go on. So
Right.
that's kind of my goal, is to raise some good ones and put them on a good truck.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's going to take care of them and show them out there.
It'll definitely, the good bulls will definitely still have somewhere to go.
Oh, yeah,
I think the
definitely.
things that may suffer are going to be like the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like something that, those bulls are going to be where it's like where you could have sold like a really good amateur rodeo bull for $2,500. He's going to bring 15.
Yeah.
That's, I think.
I think you're right.
And middle of the road, anything across the country, that's what's,
Yep.
whether it be even artists,
Yep.
there's going to be less concerts. So those middle of the road bands,
They're going to hurt.
because the top of the road bands are going to get those shows,
Yep.
even if they got to do it for less money. They're going to, because a venue's going to, anyway, I'm just speculating, but I'm trying to be, again, I'm not trying to be negative, but when somebody comes along and they're just like, they ask these questions where you hate to say it, but some of them, they're living in a fairy tale world, but you don't want to be negative just in case they're that one person that's not,
That's true.
like I want to give them that benefit of the doubt that, and same thing with Donnie whenever he wanted to ride broncs, it's like, well, it's a lot of people out there asking me to tell me they want to ride broncs, and finally he just bugged me enough. We just started putting him on them, but you don't want to tell him how hard it is. I did. I was like, at first I was like, it's hard and it's really hard to learn and you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I didn't want him to do
Randy's like, don't do it.
Don't go down that road.
Don't do it. I was like, why? I don't know.
But I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that 5 years from now Donnie goes somewhere else, learns it, goes to the NFR, and then Dale was the one guy
Hold me back.
But really, also, it's a dangerous event. So I don't think my lawyers, they don't mind me going on record. I can prove like, no, I told him not to now. But anyway, No, I think things are going to pick up and rodeos fire back up, and it's going to be on to the next one.
I agree.
So
It's got to.
yeah. So what are your immediate plans?
Like
Going
today.
back to yeah. I mean, you're hanging out with Randy. Came here to Winnebago. Y'all are hanging out, doing some fishing. Then you're gonna head back to New Mexico.
Gonna head back. Looks like we're gonna get ready to open up and start slowly kind of getting back to normal.
Before we part ways here, I've got to ask before I forget. Like, we talked about embarrassing moments for Randy in the arena. Let's talk about out of the arena. Like, what was Randy like as a kid?
Oh gosh. Let's see. Well, he
Shelly, if you have any, you can jump in here. Oh, she is. Yeah. We wait. Here she comes. What do you have for us, Shelly? What was Randy like as a kid?
He was very entertaining. You didn't need the TV on or nothing because he was in the middle of the living room in his underwear with his guitar or a microphone or doing something.
I think my most favorite thing about Randy's past is the picture of him dressed up as Luigi.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
and your
that's
brother were
cute.
Mario and Luigi.
Lori dressed them as
Yeah.
the Mario Brothers, yeah. But my favorite story is I picked him up from junior high one day after school, and he's running to the car, and he jumps in. He's got a bloody nose. I'm like, dang, did you get in another fight? And he's like, got tears down his eyes. No, I wasn't paying attention, and I turned around and ran into a pole.
I remember that.
And he was so embarrassed he couldn't get the car fast enough, but he was bleeding. He hit that pole hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did him and his brother get along?
Not really.
No.
No.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
We got in a fight.
In high school. It was pretty ugly.
A real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like knocked me out in front of everybody and busted my. I had to get like 11 stitches above my eye.
Dang. That was for real one.
Yeah.
Me and Leroy never fought. We knew that we were too equal in size and determination that we knew it would be really bad and neither one of us would enjoy it, so we just never did. There was always a mutual respect. We didn't ever even talk about it. We just would get really close to it and then not,
Yeah.
because we both knew it wouldn't end well. But y'all are a little further apart in age.
13 months.
Nope, you're not. You are not. Did he ever ride bulls?
No. He fought him one
No.
time though.
Yeah, he did one time.
He got the
just-
coolest picture you ever
yeah,
seen.
I know.
I mean, he come up to me at camp one day and goes, Dad, I want to try it. I was
Yeah.
like, all right. So I got him with one of the bullfighters, got him geared up. And I said, just go. They'll
I
tell
was
you
proud
what to
of
do.
him.
And he jumped in there, and this bull had some hook.
Dang.
And he made a couple rounds with it. He's got this picture just
Yeah.
perfect on the bull's head, just
That's
making around.
funny.
It's kind of cool.
He has no desire with anything in the Western industry. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely none. Me and Dad would be bucking bulls out at the house, and I have some videos of me getting on, and Kevin's just on the chute in front of me, just with his hands in his jacket or something, just watching Dad pull my rope, flank him, jump over, and pop the latch. And Kevin's just watching this whole time, like, I don't even want to be out here. What are we?
Yeah. So speaking of fighting bulls, I just got a new bull.
Yeah.
I bought from Casey Donahue. We're going to call him Bad Guy after one of Casey's songs. So Bad Guy, he's going to have some nicknames too, but that's going to be his official name. He's a muley, but he is on the hook. We got to have a challenge.
Let's just do an old-fashioned game of Mexican poker or bull poker.
I feel like, why are you looking at Donnie? Donnie don't want to.
Because he's got to be in there.
No, it's either got to be like me and you or me and Leroy.
I'll film.
Would you try to jump him?
I don't have very good hops.
Who could I challenge?
guy-
I would try that stuff, but I have no perspective on anything like that, so I don't know what I'm doing. And
We
I
should
would
get
Okay.
wrecked
Pedro.
out.
If Shrub Grubber is 100%, then this bull is going to be about 35.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, I understand that, but, like, I have no idea, like, okay, he's going here, I need to go here, and then jump right here. I would wait to the last second, jump too late, and
Boom!
get wrecked. Like,
Or
I,
wait
At
too
least he's a
early.
muley.
Yeah, he's a muley.
I know, but I would still get, like, wrecked.
That would be like if Cheech were trying to hook you.
How tall is he?
That's a big.
Well, you seen him yesterday.
He's not very
really?
tall.
Oh, you can jump him.
Yeah,
He's only
not
that
very
tall.
Yeah, he's a yearling. He's
Yeah.
600 pounds.
You've never seen me jump.
Let's put Dad out there.
Yeah, I got enough broken bones.
Well, we need to think of someone to challenge me. Wes may do it. Wes lost the
Yeah.
He
previous.
said the
Hey,
other
did
day
you-
you wanted to fight him. He told me, and I was like, he's like, I won't fight that bull. And I was like, you do?
Okay, then that's
All right, there you
it.
go. He said it.
We need to do a challenge. Well, I'll offer it to him. I don't like asking people to do anything they don't want to do. So that's why I didn't think he would want to. But I guess looking back, he did get in the pen with Shrub Grubber. So we need to find an
He
amount of
got
money.
on Shrub Grubber.
Was he the one that got on him?
He
The
got
first
on
time?
the first time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. So we need to come up with an amount of money. So the last challenge was $700. Wes would win $700 if me and Wes were in the arena. We had a hand on the top rail and 2 feet in on the ground. Whoever climbed up first lost. So if Wes won, he got $700. If he lost, then he would have to pay rent because he'd been living in the bunkhouse. We Rochambeau'd, rock, paper, scissors, so he got to pick his spot in the arena. He won. He won Rochambeau. He got to pick his spot in the arena, and he picked closer to the chutes because we both thought, because I was going to pick that spot too, we both thought the bull was going to go straight in the middle of the arena and then circle, so it would have gotten the second guy. So he picked the first spot, and I was like, dang it, that's what I was going to pick. This bull came out of the back pins 100 miles an hour and went straight to Wes, like just
Yeah,
first
he
person he
went
saw.
fast.
So Wes lost. Now he's paying rent. So that would be good because it would give him an opportunity to win a little
Some
rent money.
Yeah.
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 How much would it be? 700? Or
Well, see, that's the thing, and I
350.
mentioned this in that YouTube video. For those of you wondering, if you're watching on YouTube or just curious what YouTubers make, channels of my size do not make $700 a video. I don't know. Maybe there's other channels that do, but I don't make $700. Like I've got some where I've made like $150 or $200 over the span of a year.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just not like so. That's why I like, because Randy and I are watching this YouTuber, Mr. Beast, and he'll give away like $20,000
Yeah.
on his YouTube channel. He'll just be watching like a live, and the first person to, what'd you say, type the word "the."
or, no, like he'll go on that Twitch or whatever, and people are gaming, and like the first person that says he'll give him $20,000. Or he ordered a guy to say, he told him to just take a sip of water, and he gave him $20,000 just to take a drink of water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And so Randy and I came up with that challenge, and we were going to do 1,000. But and in like the moments before I said it, I was like 500.
Yeah.
So then it morphed into Wes and I challenging each other, and then he was going to have to pay rent, so I upped it to 700. But anyway, Wes had just gotten his tax return, I think. And so he was like, had a little jingle in his pocket, and he was like, man, if I win me that 700, I'll have me a little more.
Yeah.
Then I can buy a yacht or something. I don't know. Anyway. If not Wes, maybe Pedro.
Yeah. Pedro would be funny.
Me and Pedro fighting bad guy. Donahue. Huey. We can call him Huey. So, well, look out for that challenge on YouTube. Also, look out for the new merch. Donnie, are you wearing Rodeo Time stuff? Okay, thank you. I've had to get onto these guys. Look at
Dude, what are you talking about? Get on these guys. I wear this stuff every day.
Wes. It's Wes. We'll be filming. I'll look over. Wes will have a Carhartt cap on and a Hurley T-shirt.
representing.
Is Carhartt or Hurley paying your
Yeah.
payroll? No. Anyway, we do have new shirts out. I don't do plugs often. Check out dalebrisby.com. Got 5 new styles. Friday. What's the date on Friday?
The 8th.
Friday the 8th at noon, we're doing a giveaway. Buy one, get one. We pick the one that you get for free. Check us out. DM Rodeo Time. Donnie's running it. Do you have any more closing stories that you want to offer up,
Pretty good.
Danny? Usually at the end of the podcast, we do life advice. So if you have any life advice for the listeners, can be anything. Serious, funny.
You know, the only life advice right now I can give you is no matter how bad it's out there, just stay positive.
Yep.
Go 100% positive.
It's always somebody that's got it worse.
Yep. Always.
Yep. Randy?
Love your neighbor.
Oh.
I switched it up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You kept it a little more PG this
Yeah.
time.
Or sack up.
Yeah, that's what he would say. Where did you get that? Did you tell him that one day?
No, I got it from Riley Sanford.
He told you that? Or he told somebody else that?
We were messing around in Stephenville one day, and Casey Huckabee was pretending to interview him with like he just got on a bull or something,
Yeah.
and that's what Riley said that. He said, all I know what to do is sack up.
Randy's given some advice to people out here before for that. What do you got, Donnie?
Fly fancy lemons, put a bull rope on
Dang it, that's what I was going to say. Why did you say that?
it. I knew that's what you were going to say.
What am I going to say?
Pay attention.
Because it don't cost you a dime.
There you
On
go.
to the next one. Pow, pow.
I got to pee so bad.